Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board is considering to increase fares before the end of the year. The LTFRB says a provisional or temporary fare hike could be implemented by November. However, the exact amount of the increase is still being studied. The government is hearing petitions of transport groups for higher fares on September 26. Any hike will need the approval of NEDA to make sure that it does not make a great impact on the economy in general. Since January, prices of diesel have gone up to over 10 pesos per liter, while gasoline has become more expensive by at least 15 pesos a liter.
Now we know the necessity of a fare increase. However, binabalanse rin ho namin sa pangangailangan ng buong bansa. Dahil pag tinaasan ho namin yung presyo ng pamasahe po, malaki pong epekto nito sa ekonomiya at magtataasan ho halos lahat ng presyo.
For now, the LTFRB is working on distributing fuel subsidies to drivers and operators. However, the agency says that those with public utility vehicles, or PUVs, will be the first to receive assistance. The LTFRB is still waiting for the list of other beneficiaries like tricycle drivers and service riders, since it is the DILG and DICT in charge of consolidating these groups. The agency is also encouraging drivers to report if they do not receive fuel cards from their operators. About 1.36 million people are expected to benefit from the fuel subsidy program.
Magsisimula muna yan sa mga public utility vehicle. Kasi yung database po ng public utility vehicle ay nasa LTFRB as a regulator of this public utility vehicle. Yung pong galing po, yung mga riders po natin, yung tricycle, magagaling po ito doon sa, like for example, si tricycles, magagaling po yung sa DILG. Yung pong sa riders natin, magagaling po ito sa DICT at DTI. So ngayon po, ang list pa lang po na available sa atin is yung galing po sa LTFRB, which is the public utility vehicle.
Prices of several vegetables and other commodities have gone up in Metro Manila markets. According to the Agriculture Department's latest monitoring, small chili or siling labuyo now sell for as much as 800 pesos a kilo from just 400 pesos, 50 pesos rather, a month ago. Potato and tomato prices also saw an increase of 40 pesos, while chayote is up by 30 pesos. A check by News 5 at the Barangka Public Market in Mandaluyong showed prices of siling labuyo now range from 520 pesos to 710 pesos a kilo. Some vendors say the spike in vegetable prices is a result of lower harvest due to bad weather. The Philippines is now the biggest rice importer in the world, surpassing China. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, is projecting more imported rice for the Philippines, or some 3.8 million metric tons in marketing year 2023 to 2024. China's rice imports in the same period is pegged at 3.5 million metric tons. The Federation of Free Farmers agree with this projection, saying that this is due to domestic supply falling short of demand. President Bongbong Marcos says they will resolve the issue.
We are not there yet, but we have made many important steps to start that. We are trying to put the value chain, especially of agriculture, we're trying to put that value chain together from all the way from R&D all the way to retail to the market.
The chief executive also admitted that it's not easy to address the rice crisis, but he assured that his government is bent on increasing local production.
The pandemic showed us that this was not a wise choice to have made. And so we have continued to develop our agricultural sector. And the aspiration, once again, is that we are able to provide sufficient supply of food at prices that people can afford.
Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Thanks for joining us. A special Senate panel will craft an updated Philippine map to counter China's 10-dash line. Senator Francis Tolentino said the map will come from the panel he chairs, the Special Committee on Maritime and Admiralty Zones. They will decide which areas of the South China Sea will be included in the map. Tolentino said the Benham rice and Philippine rice will definitely be included. Before this, China released a map that shows a 10-dash line covering most of the South China Sea. Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte blamed protest rallies for the 2 million drop in the enrollment this school year. She was reacting to ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro's statements, pointing fingers at Duterte for the low enrollment rate. The DepEd chief said she does not kidnap out-of-school children and does not have a human trafficking case. The VP also accused Castro again of having ties with the New People's Army, which the legislator has repeatedly denied. Cases were filed against Castro and other individuals in 2018 for holding 14 minors during a national solidarity mission in Davao. Castro's group allegedly tried to teach the students revolutionary ideas. But the lawmaker shrugged off Duterte's latest tirade. In an interview with The Big Story, Castro said that VP Sara should just focus on addressing issues on education instead of hurling accusations against her critics.
Dapat atupagin na lang niya yung problema natin sa education. Kasi malala talaga yung problema natin sa education, like yung mga enrollment, yung enrollment talaga natin. Hanapin niya yun. Bakit meron tayong more or less 3 million na mga bata na hindi pa rin nag-enroll hanggang sa ngayon? Dapat yun ang tignan niya at hindi yung connection namin sa NPA.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando has denied that he had a stroke. On Monday, he fell ill before delivering a speech at an event. A video of the moment Fernando appeared unwell has made rounds on social media. He was rushed to the hospital after that. The local government of Bulacan said Fernando was exhausted and dehydrated. The governor is expected back at work once he gets enough rest. The Education Department reiterated that there is no attempt to dissociate former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. when discussing the dictatorship era. DepEd officials say they just made the presentation of the topics consistent with the historical theme. They added that discussions on the time period will not be diminished since human rights violations will still be covered in subjects. The DepEd has recently drawn flack for a directive that changed Diktadurang Marcos to just Diktadura in the grade 6 curriculum. Checking on the weather now, Pag-asa continues to monitor a low-pressure area which was last spotted some 395 kilometers east-northeast of Itbayat, Batanes. It has no direct impact on the Philippines and may dissipate within the next 24 to 48 hours. However, the southwest monsoon or habagat will still continue to bring rains in several parts of the country. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.